Chapter 56, Don't do the fight, just be in a relationship with me. Emmy Entertainment. Lin Chuxia was catching a break from her schedule. She sat on the sofa and leaned against the floor-to-ceiling glass window with a phone in her hand. The first number on the screen was Su Cheng's number, but she was hesitating whether she should make the call. She was scared that her call at this hour might cause Ranjing and Shen Yao to notice something. However, she was also very worried, because this morning, the young Master Chen from before that hated Su Cheng and was thinking about how to get back at him, deliberately called Lin Chuxia. That patrol officer that ruined my business last time was arranged by you, right? Let me tell you, this guy somehow managed to piss off the gang leader of North Gate. It's over for him. The North Gate leader challenged him to a death match, and the odds are definitely not in his favor. After this call, Lin Chuxia became too restless for the entire morning to even have breakfast. 2 of her work appointments were pushed back with her "I'm not feeling well" excuse. This was the first time she was affected by something about Su Cheng. In the past, they weren't in the same city. Su Cheng was in the army, and she was living a glorious life on stage. The two barely communicated. Lin Chuxia thought that she was able to slowly forget about Su Cheng after so many years, and she felt it was only the legal obligations that were left with the marriage certificate. But after the call this morning, she realized that she still underestimated her feelings for her childhood sweetheart. She thought that time would slowly brush away her feelings towards him, but at this moment, she still decided to make the call. Su Cheng, who had just woke up, was a bit dumbfounded after seeing the call. This was probably the first time she called him after they entered the Cold War all these years, right? Su Cheng dragged on for about 10 seconds before finally picking up. "Are you okay?" "I'm fine," Su Cheng replied. "I mean, I know about your death match with someone else, but why? You were safely discharged from the military. Why not just settle down?" Lin Chuxia asked. "Because of my values." Su Cheng sighed. On the other end of the line, Lin Chuxia paused for a second and sighed as well. "You are still the Su Cheng from before, always setting a high standard for yourself. You always wanted to make your father proud, although it hurts to say, but your dad died more than 10 years ago." "I know." Su Cheng bitterly smiled. "Weren't you always curious why I was willing to give you the first place in our grade every year? Because after my dad died, I lost the reason to work hard to make someone proud. This time, I prepared for 3 years and tried to climb up in the military, but something unexpected happened and I failed. Although they didn't tell me, I could tell from the way they reacted that I might never make it back to the military. So, now, even as a patrol officer, I still want to prove my worth no matter what position I'm on. I caused the trouble this time, so I'm going to take care of it." In fact, Su Cheng also had one thing to say in his heart, "And I just want to prove my worth so that the family that abandoned my dad and I could feel his value and come out and tell him, just how big was the disparity in their power and wealth that forced my parents apart." This was the biggest motivation for Su Cheng to keep on living right now. Perhaps he didn't want Lin Chuxia to worry, so he said, "If there's nothing urgent then let's call less in the future. The paparazzi might be able to eavesdrop and they might discover your secret." Then, he hung up the call. Lin Chuxia looked blankly out the window as she bit her lips. She was now a celebrity queen high up there, but who in this world knew what she really wanted? After Su Cheng deleted the call history with Lin Chuxia, he put the phone into his pocket and walked out of the room. Both women were in the living room, and he walked over to grab a drink of water. Shen Yao lifted her cheeks and said after seeing him walk out, "Su Cheng, what's up with you? I'm just beginning to have a crush on you, why are you so eager to go suicide? You don't want me to date you?" "Pesh." Su Cheng directly spouted out the water in his mouth. He turned around and looked towards Shen Yao. "Next time when you talk, can you not shock me to death?" Shen Yao made a bet with Ranjing that she will make Su Cheng fall for her and propose to her, so she obviously didn't want Su Cheng to go to a death match with the gang leader of North Gate. So, regardless of whether she had feelings for him or not, she might as well move up her plan to seduce him, and it wouldn't be bad if she ended up saving his life by convincing him not to go. Immediately, she began blinking and luring Su Cheng with those long and beautiful eyelashes of hers. Su Cheng was a bit speechless. "Can you not? It hurts my eyes." Shen Yao also realized that her acting was a bit too exaggerated. She coughed and said seriously, "Now, I will give you a chance. I have decided to court you, and if you want to try and date me, then don't go to that death match. Just don't go, for me." "Oh really?" Su Cheng paused for a second. "Let me think about it." Shen Yao glared at him. "Don't push it, why do you still have to think about it? Do you think that my suitors won't teach you a lesson right away for having to think about accepting my confession?" Su Cheng pouted. "All right, then I won't think about it. I choose to go to the death match." Shen Yao felt like she just took 10,000 points of critical damage, fixed with magic and true damage. "I curse you so that you will be forever alone." "Humph." Shen Yao immediately resumed her usual attitude towards Su Cheng. At this moment, Ran Jing also wanted to try and persuade Su Cheng not to go and give his life away. Shen Yao's being serious. Otherwise, why would a beautiful second-generation rich heiress like her move in with you? "I moved in because I had no money and I'm busy with my job." She actually moved in because she likes you but just didn't have the courage to confess. "Wait a holy second." Shen Yao looked at Ran Jing in disbelief. "What? When did you modify the script?" Ran Jing immediately pinched Shen Yao as a signal, and Shen Yao immediately displayed a shy teenage girl side. "Why would you tell him that?" Su Cheng looked at Shen Yao from the corner of his eyes. "Is that true?" Shen Yao felt like her heart was being fried on a pan, having to say something against her true feelings like this. She was gritting her teeth, but she still had to act to be coy and sheepish. "I was scared that if I told you directly, then you would kick me out. So I had to take another way to get closer to you." Su Cheng stroked his chin and said as after he clicked his tongue, "I know that although I'm very handsome, I have to be honest that it's still very challenging for me to make someone like you to fall in love on first sight. How about you tell me, what specifically about me that made you secretly fascinated with me?" Shen Yao continued to grit her teeth as she cursed in her heart, "That's enough yo, you are really pushing it." However, on her face, she still kept her coy expression. "I just like how you treated me so rudely that day. It gives me a feeling of safety." Su Cheng, "Oh really? But I remember you crying the day that I pushed you." Shen Yao took a deep breath, and she slightly smiled. "That's because of my feelings of finally finding true love." Ran Jing felt goosebumps growing all over her body.